Hello, it's Gina with Gingerly Creations. Today we're going to be using Pennies in Bloom Rub-On Transfer Set from Essential Stencil. My ring light was casting a little bit of a glare, so sorry about that. We're also going to be using a Dollar Tree frame. These are kind of hard to come by right now, so be sure to check your local Dollar Tree store out and see if they have any in stock. I took it apart, and now I'm going to be using Fusion Mineral and the color Haywood. This is a really pretty color. I'm going to just be painting the insert that goes behind the frame. I did end up putting a couple of coats of this paint on there. Just to make sure that you get full coverage. The Pennies in Bloom Rub-On Transfer Set is actually on sale right now from Essential Stencil. The set is $18.95 and you get 2 of the sheets. I will post a link, my affiliate link, in the comments. So after I got that painted and dried real good, we're going to move over to my frame. And now I'm taking Mineral Fusion in the color Casement and putting a couple of coats of paint on that as well. This was a little challenging to get in those grooves, so it took a little bit more time. I was able to snag a case of these frames from DollarTree.com earlier this year, but it sounds like they're sold out, unfortunately. So keep checking your Dollar Tree and hopefully you'll be able to snag one up. The rub-on transfers that I'm using, there's several different flowers and several different projects that you can use them on. This is just an idea for one. They also just launched some new spring stencils and more transfers as well. Now I'm going to take some Rub and Buff in gold. I believe it's called Antique Gold. I apologize, I didn't look at the label. And I'm just taking a small stencil brush and putting a little bit on the top of my brush. You don't need to use very much of this. A little goes a really long ways. And I chose this gold color because the flower transfer that I'm going to be using kind of has a little bit of gold in the center. So I thought it would tie in really nice. So I'm just going across all of these edges, raised areas, and adding this gold. This did take a little bit of time as well, but it looks so cool when you get it on there. I'm also going into the inside of the frame and adding a little bit, and then going around the grooves as well. Putting a little bit of gold everywhere on this frame. I decided it needed a little more. And I finally got that finished. I'm going to go ahead and take this flower in the bottom corner and cut it out. See all the different flowers on this sheet? There's so many different projects you could use it for. I'm just cutting it down a little bit smaller so I can make sure that it's going to fit on my surface. Now I'm going to take some Stays On ink and the stamp that I picked up actually at Goodwill, but I believe they are available at Hobby Lobby as well. And it's just a stamp that has a bunch of writing on it. So I'm taking this ink, which is black, and we're just going to stamp that onto the surface as well, just to give a little bit more detail. And it didn't stamp all the way on to the surface, which I was totally fine with. Now I'm going to do the edge. I still have my Goodwill sticker on this. It's amazing what you can find at thrift stores and yard sales too that people get rid of. Now I'm going to give this a really quick dry. Make sure it's real dry because you want to make sure your transfer is going to come up okay. If your paint or anything is wet underneath, your transfer will not stick to it, so make sure it's good and dry. So I'm going to peel off the top layer of the transfer and stick that on. And then we're going to rub with this, I'm not sure what you call this, just a stick that I use for my transfers, an acrylic stick. And you want to make sure you rub really good before you start pulling back the top layer of this transfer. I think I might have said I took off the top layer. I took off the bottom layer for this transfer so it would stick to my surface. And now I'm removing my top layer very slowly, making sure it's all stuck to the surface. Look how pretty that is. And then I just kind of go over the top of it and rub. I didn't show this on camera, but I did take a little bit of clear wax and went over the top of this, just so it was protected. Now I have it inside of my frame, and I think it's great. Thanks so much for watching.